So we'll call the meeting of the Henry County Commissioners to order, and we'll start with the pledge and a moment of silence. Everyone may be seated. The first order of business of the Henry County Commissioners is to elect a president for the 2023 year.
I nominate Commissioner Dellinger as president of the Henry County Commissioners for 2023.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 And now I turn this meeting over to Commissioner Dellinger.
I'll just sit right here. We need to have a motion or to nominate a vice chair.
I nominate Joe Wiley as vice president of the Board of Commissioners for 2023.
I'll second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Now, everybody be patient. This is my first time, so any mistakes or faux pas I make, please excuse them.
We will point them out.
I figured you would.
Okay. Corey. No. How many times did he point out my mistakes? Okay.
Whose side are you on? All right.
No, we're not ready for you yet.
We're not ready for you. She just,
you out.
see, she made a mistake. There you go. Have the commissioners have an opportunity to review the minutes? And if so, do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve minutes as submitted.
Do I have a second? Well, I have to. Remember, I'm not supposed to do that.
I know.
Okay, second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Have the commissioners have an opportunity to review the claims?
I move to approve claims as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Have the commissioners had an opportunity to review the payroll? So do I have a motion?
I move to approve payroll as presented.
Do I have a second? Second. Having any discussion? Hearing none, I make a motion or ask for. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. I have a report for the clerk. Do I have a motion to accept that as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And we're down to food and beverage claims. I have one for the Hope Initiative Day of Caring. For the amount of, is it $1,071.47, I believe. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a second. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now, Corey Murphy.
Thank you, Commissioners. Congratulations, Commissioner. Condolences, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Accept that.
I want to give you an update on economic development, tourism, and redevelopment. I put at your station our investors newsletter. So that is sort of a look back and a look forward. So read that at your leisure or put it in your kitty litter bin or in your kindling pile when you're done. But there is a lot of good information. In terms of looking forward, A real focus on implementing entrepreneurship-led economic development will occur in '23, and that is not just the Economic Development Corporation. That is several partners. We can't do it alone. We don't want to do it alone. But creating the best environment for small businesses to thrive and for new businesses to start. That's what that means. So that is going to be a focus going forward. I want to give you an update on READY. So we are still operating under the 4 projects that were determined by the leadership group. So that was a representative from county commissioners, county council, the city of Newcastle, the town of Knightstown, the town of Middletown, the hospital, and the foundation. Those representatives helped us determine priority projects for our counties, so the geography. When I say county, I don't necessarily mean county government in this place, but 1.6 million. And so those 4 projects are $1 million towards the water and sewer extension from the town of Knightstown north up the 109 corridor to serve on the north side of I-70. $190,000 for the library accessibility project in Knightstown. $190,000 towards the YMCA expansion, specifically for the before and after school childcare, and $220,000 for the Wilbur Wright extension. So it's a trail project in the Moreland area. So those were the 4 projects. Those 4 projects are still very much alive, still very much moving through their development stages to be able to claim those dollars. The governor, to no surprise, the governor is asking the legislature, this is a budget session, the governor is asking the legislature for funding for another round of READY. I didn't have the opportunity to watch the State of the State, and I haven't even watched any news coverage, but I don't know what he's calling it. I'm calling it READY 2.0 or READIer. So I can tell you that, you know, unless there's just a groundswell from the people that helped decide READY 1, we're going to be at the table. We're going to participate with our region, which is the East Central Indiana Regional Partnership, and be there to put in a strong application to receive additional funds. The projects that are ready, pun intended, are the projects most likely to get funding. Yes, you have to meet the objectives. Yes, you have to meet the guidelines. Yes, you have to meet all that, but it's just natural that the projects that are far enough along to be able to meet the timeline of the state wanting to, you know, get the money deployed are the ones that are going to get funded. So this is going to be an ongoing conversation, and I'll do my very best to keep you updated, probably more via emails because I'm already taking way too much time. But I pretty much took the month of December off, so at least coming to your meetings. So there's the READY update. Make My Move. So through December, so the contract, we signed the contract in the spring, let's just call it May. So unique views on the website, 5,820. Applications were 732. Pre-qualified, 55. 10 offers have been made. We have 5 signed offers. And as of yesterday, we have what we think is a committed move. There will be a detailed update provided to representatives of the funding organizations in early February. You'll have to arm wrestle on who comes to that. We typically have invited the president of the commissioners and the president of the county council and the president
And
of
what he
the,
didn't realize is it all goes.
your calendar just got more busy.
I can delegate.
There you go. So I can't thank the county and city enough for allowing us to participate. And those in the audience or people watching online, if you haven't seen the video put together by the Make My Move team, you can just Google Henry County Make My Move, and there's a 3-minute video. And even if you don't like anybody in the video, it inspires pride in our community. And I think it's really, really important. I want to give you a redevelopment update. I will be requesting time on a future work session to give you all, to have a conversation on several proposed plan amendments that the County Redevelopment Commission wants to pursue. The approval process for the redevelopment plan is as follows. It starts with a preliminary resolution adopted by the Redevelopment Commission. Then it goes to the Plan Commission, the County Plan Commission, and they confirm whether the proposed amendments are compliant with the county's comprehensive plan. That action comes to this board. Then the County Redevelopment Commission schedules a public hearing, takes input, either amends or adopts a final resolution, and then that final resolution comes back to the commissioners for a up or down vote. I want to visit with you in a work session to talk through all of the amendments. There's a lot of them, all good in my opinion, and the Redevelopment Commission has blessed those. But I want to get your feedback ahead of time, and if we need to make an adjustment on those amendments, we can do so. Just to give you a little flavor, it's targeting some areas, and you wouldn't be surprised, you won't be surprised by this, but so the land that was rezoned out by the industrial park that we're getting ready to purchase, we need to place that in an allocation area so we can have the tax increment finance tool available to support development on that site. So that would be one of the plan amendments. The case that is before the Planning Commission now on a rezone up at 200 North and State Road 3 for residential. You know, if that is rezoned, and I'll just go on the record and hope it is, because we need housing. We can do a residential TIF project that helps support the infrastructure, which buys down the cost, which allows the sales price to be more affordable, because we all know with inflation, what should cost $100 a square feet costs $150 or $175 a square feet, and that may even be low. So we want to take advantage of the residential TIF tool. So those are the two main, but there's several others, and I don't want to take any more of this meeting, but I do want to get on a work session in the future. Penny, have I missed anything? Questions?
What's the time frame you're looking at for a work session? Or you just want to communicate, just let us know?
End of January, early February. Look forward to working with you all, 23. Thank you.
See, you didn't even have to have somebody escort you off. You did good. I don't see Shonda. Carrie, you have anything?
Yay. Congratulations. You planning the next bicentennial? Are you planning the next bicentennial? Yeah.
Braver soul than I am. Tom Green.
How about I turn it on? You have before you the copy of the resolution and some information about the request. This is a zone map change for parcel number 007825152-00, changing it from rural residential to agricultural. This would be what appears to be the first ordinance of the year, 2023-01-11001. This would change the area that's now zoned rural residential back to agricultural. In November, the owners of the property were granted a CAU based on the rezone for an event venue at this location. Your approval is needed to change this back. It was a unanimous vote by the Planning Commission to approve the CAU and to recommend the zoning change.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you. I'll bring these up for your signature, and you're going to turn them to me, and I'll get them to the auditor's office.
We'll get it signed back to you.
Department heads. I don't see Angela. Oh, there. You sure? Do you need them right now? County Coroner, do you have anything? And congratulations.
Yeah, my name is Brian Clark. For those of you that don't know me, I was elected as the county coroner Monday night. Look forward to serving the county and the citizens. So as far as a report, I have nothing besides here I am, and if you need me, you know how to raise me.
Joe had a meeting, and he said he would probably be a little bit late. I don't see him back yet, so we'll skip him for right now. Steve, you have anything? Nope. We just did Tom. Don't see the sheriff or anybody from the sheriff's department. Debbie? Okay. Jenny? Don't see Jenny. Casey's not here. Are you? Jody, Gabe. Butch, do you have anything? All right. You sure? All right. I don't see Bill. Glenn? All right. All right.
Everybody's good.
All right, everybody's good.
Good, that means this meeting rolled.
Scott? Tim?
Tim's not here.
No. All righty. She's supposed to, but
Steve,
we're not going to get
we're
into
not doing
this. Oh, Lordy. Purdue Extension Office. Do you guys want to present anything?
Let's see, it's still morning, so good morning. My name is Kelsey Myers. I am the County Extension Director for Purdue Extension here in Henry County. Every year during our budget hearings with the county council, I submit our contractual services for this upcoming year. And then once they are approved by county council, then it goes before you all as commissioners to be signed and then returned back to Purdue University. So here we are with the contractual services. Upon your approval, that also supports Danielle and I's salary for county services, but it also supports our nutrition education plans, our community wellness coordinators that we share with a region, and other services that we essentially are offered here in Henry County, but are free to you all. There's no charge to the county, but that with the services is included. So, yeah.
So you need us to approve that then?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've looked at it, it's the same agreement we've had almost every year, as I can recall. Only is the amount of compensation changes every year. That's most things going up, this went up a little bit over last year too.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Now we have a contract renewal for automated logic plan service agreement for, find the amount here. What's that even say? $6,022. Yeah. Do I have a motion to accept this?
So this is for the alarm, all the fire suppression alarm in the Justice Center.
Yep.
They've done, in my opinion, this last year, an outstanding job. So with that said, I will make the motion to approve the plan service agreement for $6,022 for automated logic.
Second?
All those, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Now we're down to board appointments. We have a board appointment for Dudley Township Advisory Board. There was one that wasn't included. It's Dewey Hillman. Do I have a motion to approve?
I will make that motion, and I will point out that I am the one that dropped him off the last in December to have him appointed. I didn't get him on the list, so my apologies to the township trustee, Ron Chu, for giving him a headache of not getting the third person appointed. So with that, I will make the motion to appoint Dewey Hillman to the Dudley Township Advisory Board.
Do I have a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Now we have one for Terry Matney for the Planning Commission. Do I have a motion?
I will make the motion to reappoint Terry Matney to the trustee position for the Planning Commission.
Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Motion carried. Now I have one for Stony Creek Township Board, a Jonathan Cole. Nope.
He's the trustee.
Jonathan Martin. You got Teresa Mumford here.
Yeah, Teresa Mumford and
And Jonathan Martin.
I will make the motion to appoint both Teresa Mumford and Jonathan Martin to the advisory board for Stony Creek Township.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now we need an IRPC Commissioner Certificate of Appointment.
I would like to sit on this board if I could, if it's okay with the other two to sit on the. Sorry, I would like to be appointed to sit on the EIRPC as the Board of Commissioners appointment. But we need a motion.
Say, do I have a motion? I have a second. I guess I would have to second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I will abstain.
Motion carried. Now we have commissioner liaison appointments. So we've all reviewed our liaison positions.
I would make the motion to accept the list of liaison positions. They're pretty long. I mean, I guess you could read them, but we've all reviewed them as to what departments we will all be liaisons to. So I will make the motion to accept it.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Drainage Board Commissioner appointment.
So you currently sit on that board, and I am going to make the motion to reappoint you to the Drainage Board.
I second.
I will abstain from voting, but all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Planning Commission Commissioner appointment. Bobby, you currently do that.
I would like to remain.
I'll make a motion that you continue to stay on the Planning Commission. Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
If you won't vote for yourself, who will vote for you?
Motion carried. Job Classification Commissioner appointment.
I would also like to serve on the Job Classification Board.
I make a motion that you continue to do that. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I will abstain.
Motion carried. Now we have Liberty Township Advisory Board, Darren Paul.
I will make the motion to appoint Darren Paul to the Liberty Township Advisory Board.
I second.
I have motions made in a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. And let's see, now we have Fall Creek Township Advisory Board, Angie Beck and Chase Heinhold. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Now we have Park Board appointment. We have 2 positions open there. We have 3 applicants. We have Levi Simmons, Michael Likens, and Steve Peckinpah. Do I have a motion?
I will make the motion to reappoint Levi Simmons to the Memorial Park Board.
Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. I have Steve Peckinpah and Mike Lyons. Do I have a motion?
Michael Likens.
Michael Likens.
I will make the motion to appoint Michael Likens to the Memorial Park Board.
Do I have a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. We have an RDC appointment, David Gratner, Paul Jansen, and John Madison. Do I have a motion?
Do we need to do these individually, or can we do them all at once? I will make the motion to reappoint David Gratner, John Madison, and Paul Jansen to the RDC Board.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. Public Library Board, we have Darrell Kraft. Do I have a motion?
I will move to appoint Darrell Kraft to the Public Library Board.
Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay. We're down to new business. We have vehicles for auction, including ambulances. Bobby, you want to address that?
So at the last meeting, we approved the highway department and the park for vehicles that may or may not be in working order that's no longer in use by either department. Mandy Fleming and Lucas Rain submitted, looks like 4 ambulances to be included. We will be having an online auction to hopefully liquidate all of these vehicles, but since we didn't have them listed in the approval, I wanted to make sure that we officially approved the list of these. So with that said, I will make the motion to approve the Henry County EMS's list for auction.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. Now we're down to bonds. I have a bond for Jonathan Cole for Township of Stony Creek for $30,000.
Can we do them all over?
We do all of them the same? All right. So I have that one. I have one for Jody French for $100,000. I have one for solid waste for $60,000. I have one for Jody Brown for $15,000. I have one for Steve Kaufman for $30,000, one for Susan Van Hoy for $30,000, and one for Steve Russ for $30,000, and one for Nancy Harmon for $100,000. Do I have a motion to approve all the bonds?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. Now I have a letter from the 4-H Association. Do you want to speak to that?
Now it's great. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Anyway, my name is Troy Hirschman. I'm the Henry County 4-H Association president. You should have received that letter last Friday describing our request for funding for the 4-H program for this upcoming 2023 year. 4-H is the largest youth organization here in Henry County, and by approving these funds of $20,000, it allows us to complete our mission of 4 areas of STEM, healthy living, civic engagement, and leadership. And on a note with that, for leadership, we are actually taking 6 4-Hers at this time to the State House for the Indiana 4-H State House Day on February 4th. So that we're trying to demonstrate to our youth of how the government process works, especially at the state level, so that hopefully maybe someday they'll be sitting in those seats there leading our county government as well. And so we provide opportunities with that funding to do those types of things. So that's what we're requesting at this time.
So I know that I checked what was actually budgeted for this with Debbie, and we actually only budgeted $15,000. I think that's what we gave last year as well.
Yeah, that is correct. And then in this day and age of inflation and stuff, it just costs more money to do business. And that's why we're requesting an extra $5,000.
Well, unfortunately, we can't without going for additional appropriation.
Yeah.
So I will make the motion to appropriate or give the 4-H Association the budgeted amount of $15,000.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I do. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The only way we can get any more would be if the council would approve it.
I understand that, yeah.
And I wrote on my letter to look to increasing that in the budget for 2024.
Yeah, no problem, yeah.
So-
I appreciate the support. We appreciate the support.
Yeah, I wish I could give you more, but I did write that to look at maybe budgeting more in 2024.
That'd be perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I did not? No. Okay, all those in favor of giving 15,000?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 3-0. Now we have an application for the cemetery sign for the park for the recently, well, discussed at their park meeting. Do I have that? It's my understanding this sign is approved by the Heritage Signs, and the only deviation from it was possibly having the group that applied for it listed on the bottom of the sign. So I guess we need a motion whether we approve this sign or not. We
Well,
need a
this, I don't
signature.
know that this is for the sign. I think this is just to be able to place it. They
So
want
I'll say
the,
they wanted,
Yeah,
we're
the-
signing for they give them permission to do it.
and you've reviewed it.
I mean, it's a pretty standard application.
So you don't have a problem with it?
I will make the motion to approve the signing, our approval and signing of the application for the cemetery heritage signs.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. Do what? I was like, I don't have anything on them. Oh, as far as the, do you want to talk about that then?
So,
Because we have the,
yeah, so we have, you want me to just,
yeah, go ahead.
so we have placed the Hope, what we refer to as the Hope Building at 1426 up with a realtor. And so in some discussions, instead of going back and forth with public meetings, we are, and Joel, if you need to add anything to this, we can appoint one commissioner to be the point of contact with the realtor in accepting any offers, counteroffers, letters of, and the word just escaped me. What's the letter? Letter of intent, pending Commissioners Board approval and approval in any other legal processes or any other boards that must take place. Did I word that correctly?
Correct, yeah, nothing will be binding until you guys finally approve it at the meeting. This is just to speed up the process for one person to negotiate.
Yeah, 'cause-
Be the point of contact for negotiation.
So with that being said, I am going to make the motion to appoint the President of the Commissioners, Steve Dellinger, as that person.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Say
Aye.
aye. Motion carried. Now we need to discuss the commissioner meeting schedule.
Yes, because I think we've taken this one off, right? The tax sale, I think that.
Yeah.
There's some more questions.
We have more questions on it,
Remove that one.
and she was supposed to get back with us to meet with us, so we won't be discussing that today, but. So, any suggestions?
I think that we should keep it as is for now. I think it works well having one at 11 o'clock and one of an evening. So my preference, and Joe, you can add to the discussion if you so choose, that we keep the first meeting of the month at 11 a.m. and the second meeting at 6 p.m. Then if anything else changes and we need to have something sooner, we can always have a special meeting or change the time with enough public notice.
Any discussion?
I would prefer to do them at this time, but I realize, as in the past, that there's been one day and one evening, and if that's what you think works the best, but that's just my opinion.
So, we're okay with leaving it as is then?
I guess I'll put that into a motion, and whether we get a second or not. So I make the motion that we keep the meeting schedule as is.
Do I have a second? Yes, I could. Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. Sheriff, do you have Since you weren't here when we called you, do you have anything to say? Okay. Joe? Morning, Joe. So,
Except you have the money.
yeah, you do.
I guess, I don't know enough about loaders to have a nice conversation, except to say, do you have the money in your budget?
Is there any discussion on this? Any of the commissioners?
Looks like a good deal.
Say hearing none, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I second.
Motion made and seconded to approve. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay. And so the idea is, and Randolph's talking about this also, about hiring laborers, maybe 2 laborers to put in. And then I have one guy that would be willing to do it right now. To bring him in as a laborer and let him work toward getting their CDL. I do have access to, now you have to take a test now to be able to, and pass it. Plus the driving test, written test, driving test to be able to get a CDL. So I do have, Madison County sent 2 of their people to get trained and certified to give the test. So I have access, and they said they would work with us. Of course, we'll have to give them some money, but it's cheaper than an independent contractor to do it. So they're willing to get these fellows through the test, and then we'll have to work on getting them through the driving test. But and I'd like to, and depending on what Joel's idea is or what we can do, is to pay for that with the idea that they have to stay with the county a certain length of time. And if they leave before that time, then they pay us back, maybe prorated or something, for what we spent to get them that CDL.
I know,
trucking companies do that quite often, so I'm not opposed to that at all.
and you have the labor positions already under your salary ordinance and
There's none classified
as a
in,
laborer.
yes, it's,
So will he have to then go to job classification and council? Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I figure maybe Wagner, Irwin, and Shealy need to put their 2 cents in on what the rate should be. I did do some numbers to see if the 1176 account MBH could handle it, and it can. I've got some numbers here. And at the end of the year, we will have, I figure, a cash balance of just a little over $1 million. Second page shows what I thought these fellows might cost us, ladies or gents, whichever. Figuring $17.50 an hour for a labor. I don't know what Wagner, Irwin, and Shealy's going to come up with, but that's just a number. And I showed what these two fellows will cost, including federal dollars we have to pay, retirement we have to pay, and I put in $20,000 a piece for health insurance because I remember Chad talking about $18,000, and I figure it hasn't gone down, so we're talking $126,523 a year.
There's really not a decision for us to make because it needs to go through Wagner and Shealy Job Classification and Council to move forward before we, right, okay.
Can I get permission or have someone contact Wagner, Irwin, and Shealy to get those numbers?
Do you want to contact, or you want, I mean, I don't have a problem contacting them.
I don't have.
I imagine they probably already have job descriptions for laborers, for highway laborers somewhere in their database that we wouldn't have to rewrite the will. I can reach out to Addie today.
Would you please?
What?
Oh, I don't have a number.
I will give you
I'll
get you.
I know
contact
Irwin, so.
information. Yeah, you're actually right because I wouldn't be able to answer those questions. Yeah.
Phone tag,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I will get you all the contact information.
Okay. Thank you. The next item is task order number 7. What we have is the state has come out with additional funding that's available. It's actually for maintenance of bridges. And we don't know whether this is a one-time deal or whether they're going to come out and do it every year. We don't know. So maintenance type items would include bridge deck overlays, repairs of certain areas of the bridge joint repair, things like that. Well, we got a bridge down on South County line, Bridge 162 there at Knightstown over Big Blue. It's 200 and I think it's the biggest county bridge we have. It's 243 feet long, 5-span structure, and it's got patching on quite a bit of it right now, and we need to get in there and get that thing fixed. I expect if I did it locally, it would probably be $150,000 to $200,000 to do a bridge deck overlay and repair the joint. This pays 80% for everything, from design to construction to inspection, the whole 10 yards. So, yeah, it's an opportunity that I don't think we should pass up. So next meeting, I'll be coming in, if it's okay, and with a financial commitment letter. So you can sign to get us moving. We have to have that for the application. But here's the task order.
And you want this approved today? Is this what or is this for next That's what I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, because it has to be turned in no later than the last Friday of this month, the application.
So, is there any discussion on our end?
These task orders we have done before.
Yep.
They're pretty standard, so with that, I will make the motion to approve the task order number 7, supplement to the prime agreement for SJC. I believe it's SJCA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
For the scope of services for Henry County Bridge 162 deck overlay.
I have a second. Do I have a second?
1,500 to do it all.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you. Any questions? We're,
Not at this time, I don't think.
okay. We are, one little note, we are planning on sending the asphalt distributor. It's got some problems, and we need it right when we're doing chip seals. And we're going to send it to Etnar in Illinois to have it gone over and everything fixed. So we'll be in good shape then for this coming season, so.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Joe. Okay, we're down to public comment. Do I have anybody that wants to say anything?
I'm emotional about this, but at the park, when they sold the south end of the park, they took down the Phillips shelter and they built it back up. They tore down my dad's shelter that my mother built. My brother worked for the park and he helped build the shelter. And according to the contract, I've not seen it, but I was told they were to build it up exactly like it was. It's either February or March of 2020, I took Jake Martin, because I was given his name and number, to get with him. I took papers where Rex Oxbaugh thanked my mother for building the shelter and my brother for help building it. I gave him pictures and papers and everything, and his first response was, wouldn't you, it was a wooden shelter, and wouldn't you like to have a metal shelter? That is because the Phillips was a metal shelter, and they built the Phillips shelter. And when the maps of that part of the park came out, it said Phillips and Sanders Shelter, exactly where the Phillips shelter is now. And that was almost 2 years ago, and he was going to get it to the people that needed to build it. There is nothing started on it. My mom had it done using the money where my dad passed away in 91, and it was dedicated in 1993. And I gave Jake Martin all the papers and everything, and pictures and stuff. And to make short story quick, my last sibling passed away in 2020. And after she did, we went through all the pictures and papers and everything, and I do believe that I gave most of the papers to JD's son, Paul David Sanders, and daughter, Amber Sanders, because we divided all the papers and pictures and things up. But Jake Martin does have pictures and papers from it, and every year we do rent the Phillips Shelter on the fourth Saturday of July for our family reunion, and that's what my mom always wanted, and we've had it since 1993, other than the Quincova, the year of Cova, we did not have it. Jake Martin has not charged us for renting the shelter, and he makes sure that there is porta potty there for us this way, because most of my first cousins are older like I am this way, and I appreciate what it's done, and I would like for you to put it on the calendar for your January 25th meeting, and whoever needs to be here or whatever, but I would like it started, because I have fought severe glaucoma for over 30 years. And 2 years ago, I started with macular eye degeneration. I walk with a walker because it slows me down and I don't fall. And I would like to see it built before I go blind, because I will go blind.
Have you spoken with Mr. Martin or anybody from the Expo board lately?
Yes, and every year he says, thank you very much for being patient with me this way and stuff. And my husband bowls at the Rose Bowl. We live in Muncie, and every year we make so many trips by there. And he says that he's going to build it near the playground, which the playground is not there, because the playground is what my dad used to bring us and his grandchildren and his great-grandchildren over to the park with picnic, and then we feed the ducks, and then we play on the playground this way and stuff. And there is no playground over there that's been built up, and ever since we went to the Phillips Shelter, I go to the Dollar Tree and buy all kinds of toys for the kids to play with and stuff while they're there, and because there's no playground over there either. So these need to be done.
Did Mr. Martin in your conversation give you
I
time?
don't hear very well, I'm sorry.
Did Mr. Martin in your conversation give you any kind of time frame when he thought he might be doing this?
No. And I know he's never even, I know the first part they have to do is do the cement, because it'll take time for it to set and everything. But I would like it built in the next couple of years this way at least. Started this summer.
I'll say, because the only thing that we can do at this point would be to reach back out to the Expo board to find out if they have a time frame on it, because sadly, I'll just address the elephant in the room. That lease over there, in my opinion, is one of the worst documents that was drafted in the county and still is. And we have very little say-so. It was done before we became commissioners, and we're just trying to put the pieces back together at this point. But
And this is why, when it's rebuilt, I don't want it built on the south end. I would like, they showed me on the map, there's some available places over by the old big shelter house over there. I'd like it built over there on the old side, where there's playgrounds and restrooms and things available.
well, that would at that point have to be discussion between the Expo and the park board at that point to find out what they wanted to do.
Yeah, whatever they need to do, but I've just had it with that side of the park this way, because we weren't, for the first year when it was in negotiation or whatever, they weren't allowed to rent out. And it's either been 5 or 6 years since we've been able to have it at my dad's shelter this way. And I don't know, I finally have got to the place where I need it started.
I see you have a folder with papers and stuff. Once the meeting is over, is it okay if I make some copies of your papers that you have?
I have, because we divided all the pictures and up to the different families and papers and stuff, I am sure I gave my copy of the papers to, I have one copy of a paper that Jake Martin, I asked him last summer to send me a copy of the papers and stuff, because I have pictures at home, no problem this way. And our oldest daughter put all the family pictures, there was boxes and boxes of pictures, and we put it on CD, no, whatever, yeah, flash drive, and we made copies for all the families this way and everything. So I don't know what else to do than ask you to.
We will reach out to Mr. Martin and.
Member of the Expo Board. Sure. If you want this fixed immediately, I think there's a way to do it. Okay? You gave the park $165,000 in ARP money, okay? At the present time, that is not encumbered except for the payment to the engineers, okay, which is $20,000. In my opinion, okay, and I know that doesn't count for anything anymore, but in my opinion, that ARP money could build that shelter on the park side for these people and be done this summer without any trouble. And then an agreement brought forth between the Expo and the park board that when they had the money, excuse me, they would reimburse the park. So it would be like a long-term loan, not just giving money away. And we'd get an extra shelter. They'd get their shelter rebuilt, and there would be no pressure exerted on the Expo other than what they're trying to do to get the buildings built right now, which we know right now
I don't think that's anything that we can, we'll have to look into that and let Joel look into all of that. We can't just.
Require you amending the ARP resolution.
Right.
I mean, you could do it.
Right, but we'd have to do, right.
I'm just saying that money's there.
So we'll have to.
I mean, that's a plausible solution.
Absolutely. It's just
So-
not something we can agree to today. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. You know, yeah. So we will look to see what options we have available. And if before you leave, if I could get your name and phone number and contact information so we can be in communication, if that's okay.
Okay, that's fine, and I want to thank the secretary of the park. She's the one that gave me the information of the meeting and to contact Steve Dillinger this way and stuff, and I left a message on his phone this way and stuff, so I appreciate what you're doing. I just tired of not having our shelter.
Well, this gives us, like I said, it gives us a plausible solution, so hopefully we can get something accomplished for you.
Okay.
Do I have anything else from the public? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Second? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Brad, if you said you're coming